Lovely morning, dear students. Today we are doing the chapter Taro's Reward from your English reader book Honeysuckle. This chapter has been split in two videos. In the first video, we have covered paragraph 1 to 7, and in the next video, we continue it from paragraph 8 till 13. Taro's Reward is a Japanese story. Before explaining the chapter, I would like to introduce the characters of the story. Firstly, we have Taro, who is a woodcutter by profession, and he is young, kind hearted, and obedient child of his parents. He is the only child to his parents. He has dedicated his life for his parents and wants to fulfill all their desires. Then we have Taro's parents, who are quite old. Then we have the greedy villagers, who turn hostile to Taro and wants to kill him. And lastly, we have the emperor, who is a generous and just king. Now, as we are aware of all the important characters of the story, let's begin the chapter. So, this is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and gets some unexpected help. Now let's see what's this unexpected help that he gets. Taro's reward. First paragraph. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father in a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. So basically, this Taro is a woodcutter. He lives with his parents on a lovely hillside, and all day he would work in the forest chopping the wood. Chopping means cut into pieces. Cut the trees into pieces and sell it in the market. Though he would work very hard, he earned very little money. You can see here Taro sitting with his parents. Okay, and this is the hut, a whole worn out hut in which they live. This is Taro, his father, and his mother. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his parents everything they needed. You know, in this world, if you want something, we need money for that. If you want to buy something, money should be there. Though Taro worked very hard from morning till night, chopping the wood, doing so much of hard work, after all this hard work, he would earn a little money, which was not sufficient to fulfill the desires of his parents. So it made him very sad. Okay, because he wanted to give his parents everything they needed. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of the hut, a strong wind began to blow. So one evening, Taro was sitting with his parents in the hut, in the corner of the hut, and all of a sudden, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Now, with this sentence, we can analyze how the hut would be. What it is written? The wind whistled through the cracks of the hut. This means the hut is not a well maintained hut. It is a worn out old hut with many cracks in it. Through the cracks, this chilled wind was blowing with, with whistle inside the house. Whistle means pass through with a whistling sound. With a force, with the sound, it would just pass through the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good. When they were in this cold breeze, cold wind, to warm the body, this father of Taro said, I wish I had a cup of sake. Now, what is a sake? Sake is basically A popular Japanese drink. Okay, it's a popular Japanese drink. As we have soups at home during winters, we prefer to drink soup. The same way in Japan, these people like to drink sake, which gives strength to their bones and provide warmth to their body. Okay, so this father wanted to have a cup of sake, and just see the helplessness of the son, that his father is longing for a cup of sake and he is not able to provide it. And this makes him very sad. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heartwarming drink called sake was very expensive. Expensive means very costly, it was not affordable for him. So, this desire, when the father expressed that he wants to drink a cup of sake, and Taro was not able to provide this cup to his father, this made him very sad. Okay, because this heart-warming drink of sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So he asked himself, how can I earn more money so that I can buy a cup of sake for my father? He decided, I will work more hard. I will work more hard. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed early than usual and made his way to the forest. Made his way. Made his way means went to. So, next morning, as he decided he wants to work harder to earn more money, he thought, I will have to wake up early in the morning. The same way you people also decide for your exams, when you have more to study, when you want to study more, what do you do to get more time? You get up early in the morning, you work late night to get more time to work more. The same way Taro also decided that he will get up early and start working early than before, and he made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and so soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. He chopped and cut, he chopped and cut. He cut the trees and the sun, because he started early in the morning. So, after some time of work, the sun climbed, that is, it became bright during the day, and soon he was so warm. When you work, when you run, when you do some physical work, you start sweating. Taro also, after so much of cutting and chopping, he became warm that he started sweating. So he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry. His mouth was dry because of thirst, and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought. If only he was as warm as I was. You know, young people, young children like you are very warm. Okay. And the old people, like your grandparents, they feel cold. Fine. So he was thinking, I wish my old poor father was as warm as I was. And with that, he began to chop even faster. With the desire to provide his old father with sake, he started to work harder and faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bone. Then suddenly, Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it be? Could it possibly be rushing water? All of a sudden, he heard something, and he stopped working to see what is that sound actually. He thought, could it be possibly rushing water? That is some stream nearby, because he has never seen a stream in the surrounding. Taro could not remember even seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hand and he ran in the direction of the sound. So, because of this hard work and sun over the head, and he was sweating, he felt thirsty and he wanted to drink water as his mouth was dry. So, his axe dropped down from his hand and he ran towards the direction of the sound. From where the sound was coming, he ran towards that direction. Taro saw a beautiful little water hidden behind a rock. What he saw? He saw a beautiful little waterfall that was hidden behind a rock. Nobody in the village were aware of this waterfall because it was hidden behind a rock. Maybe this was a miracle that all of a sudden, seeing Taro's desire to fulfill his parents' wish, it appeared. It could be possible because nobody knows about this waterfall before. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Cupped means when you are not having any container to drink water, what you do, you fold your palm and curve your palm and fill your palm with water and drink it. That is cupped. Okay, the same way he cupped a little water in his hand and put it to his lips. Cupped a little in his hand, took some water in his hand as if in a cup. He tasted it again. Was it water? Was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. Have you ever seen a stream that gives you tea, that gives you coffee, or some sort of a tomato soup? No. But here, a miracle happened. And what he tasted was actually the delicious sake. It was not cold water. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. What is pitcher? Pitcher is actually a pot usually made of mud. Taro carries a pitcher every day to forest to drink water, and that day his pitcher was emptied because of his hard work. So Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. He was so happy to get this sake that he can provide this to his old father. The old man was delighted with the sake. Now, after drinking this sake, the old father was very delighted, happy. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and he did a little dance in the middle of the floor. So you can imagine how much energy and warmth this drink provides. Just having a little bit of it stopped him from shivering, and he was so happy, so glad that he started dancing in middle of the floor. So you can see here Taro cupping the stream sake in his hands and drinking. And this is a picture that he would carry every day to the floor, to the forest. Now we will continue this chapter in the next video. Till then, read this much part. Thank you.